we are going to talk about the male reproductive system, and in continuation of the previous video in which we have studied about the male reproductive parts, that is the primary sex organ and the secondary sex organ. Now we are going to talk about the testis, which is the primary sex organ in case of male. The testis is a structure which is present in the male, and there is a pair of testes which is present within the scrotum. So as you can see over here, this is the scrotum in which the structure which is known as testis is present. Now this scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity. It is not present inside, but it is present outside the abdominal cavity. So therefore we can say that testis is extra-abdominal. That means outside the body. Now the scrotum is a sac-like structure or the pouch which carries the testis, and there is a pair of testes present in every male. This scrotal sac actually, which is present outside the abdominal cavity, helps in bringing down or it protects the testis, and also the location helps in maintaining a temperature of at least 2 degrees or 2 to 2.5 degrees lesser than that of the internal abdominal cavity temperature. So the temperature is less, and the reason for this is because this helps in the actually formation of the sperms, that is spermiogenesis, and also it maintains the viability of the sperms. So the lower temperature has two major functions, that is it helps in the process of formation of the sperms, also maintains the viability of the sperms. So the scrotal sac is present outside the abdominal cavity, carrying the testis. Now when we talk of the testis as a structure, each testis is having a layer. It is oval in shape. The testis is oval in shape, and it is around 2 to 3 centimeters wide. It is a small structure, and each of the testes is having an outer layer which is known as tunica albuginea. Now, inside each of the testes, let us take it this way. This is tunica vaginalis. Inside is the layer which is known as tunica albuginea. Now this tunica albuginea has infoldings at certain places like this. These are the infoldings of tunica albuginea and are known as testicular septum. These infoldings are known as testicular septum. As a result, the internal portion of the testis is divided into compartments. Each of the compartment, that is approximately, there are 200 to 300 compartments in a testis, and each of this compartment is known as testicular lobule. It is known as testicular lobule. So there can be 200 to 300 such lobules present in each testis, and it is due to the formation of the due to the infoldings of the tunica albuginea and with the help of septum. So these partitions are known as septum, and the lobules, the compartments over here, are formed. Now each of the compartment, that is the testicular lobule, has several tubular structures. So if we write over here or if we make a pattern over here, these are tubular structures which are present in foldings over here inside, and these are actually folded highly coiled structures in towards the lobule side, and as these move out they become straight. Now this red coiled structure which is present inside the lobules is known as seminiferous tubule. So I will write over here, this is seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules are highly coiled structure inside the lobule, but as they move out of the lobule side, they become straight. Now these open up in all the tubules over here. Each lobule, as I said, may have 2 to 3 such seminiferous tubules. All of these join together and they form a they open up in a comparatively straight structure, and this is known as rete testis. We have taken the structure from here to here. So all the coiled structures, they will be opening up into the rete testis. And from rete testis, there are structures, that is again the tubular structures, very narrow structures. And these tubules are known as vas efferentia. So if we study the structure in detail, each of the testis is lined by, actually it is lined by layer. The outermost layer is known as tunica vaginalis. Inside layer is tunica albuginea. Then there is another layer which is known as tunica vasculosa that prevents or protects the testis. These are thick fibrous tissues. Inside the structure, the tunica albuginea has infoldings which are known as testicular septum, and these testicular septum form testicular lobules. These lobules are approximately 2 to 300 in number, and each of the lobule carries nearly 1 to 3 lobules per, 1 to 3 per lobule. So if we say there are approximately 900, we take maximum. So maximum will be 300 lobules over there, and in each we are having approximately 3 seminiferous tubules. So nearly 900 seminiferous tubule in each of the testes. Now these seminiferous tubules are coiled structures which finally become straight and join to form rete testis. The rete testis leads to vas efferentia, and further we have structures which the duct system which will carry the sperms. Now if we study the seminiferous tubule, the seminiferous tubule structure is let me write 1, 2, 3 per lobule. Now here we can see if we draw a section. If we draw the section of testis, and if we cut it, and then we see these circular structures. These are the, and this over here, this over here is the interstitial tissue. all the tissues which are surrounding this. Now here, this is the section of the seminiferous tubule. So here, this is the seminiferous tubule. This seminiferous tubule has two types of cell. That is, one are the cuboidal cell, and there are certain cells which are slightly elongated or triangular in shape. So if we draw like this, these are triangular shaped cells, and that is cuboidal cells. These cuboidal cells are actually the site for the production of sperms. So these are known as spermatogenic cells. These are spermatogenic cells, and the other triangular cells are known as Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. So if we see the structure or a section of the testis, section of testis over here, we find the circular structures. These are the seminiferous tubule, and over here within the seminiferous tubule are present two types of cell. That is the cuboidal cells, that is this outer layer is the germinal epithelium, and inside, let me label it, it is the germinal epithelium. And this germinal epithelium is having two types of cells, the cuboidal cells which are known as spermatogenic cells, and these cells perform, or these cells actually form the male gamete, that is the sperm, whereas the other type of cells which are slightly conical cells are known as Sertoli cells. The function of the Sertoli cell is to provide nourishment to the spermatozoa, and also it shapes the sperm. So these are actually also called as nurse cells because they are providing nutrition to the developing sperms. Also, when you study the structure of this interstitial tissue, there is a mass of cell or aggregation of certain specific cells at places. These cells are known as Leydig cells, and these Leydig cells are responsible for the production of hormones, which is androgen or the male sex hormone testosterone, which helps in the development of the sperm, and also during puberty it helps in the development of secondary sexual characters. So the Leydig cells are responsible for the release of androgens. The Sertoli cells provide nourishment and shape to the developing spermatozoa. The spermatogenic cells form the sperms by the process, and also the other immuno cells are present which are preventing any kind of infection. So this structure, this is the outer structure which tells about the location of the testis. This is the internal structure of the testis, and in which we can clearly see the lobules over here formed by tunica albuginea, and also the seminiferous tubules which lead to retetestis, and this retetestis finally opens it into vas efferentia, which will go to the epididymis. So here we have studied about the structure of the internal structure of the testis, and also the section of the testis in which we can study about, or which we can find about, the two types of cells and the function of the seminiferous tubule.